What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. An interesting plot line has developed. But before I get started, please give me a 1 in the comments if you can hear me okay, if the sound is all good, and if everything is coming through loud and clear. I ask that people who are first-time listeners like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button on your way in. Help us get to the into the algorithm. I would like to ask everybody to share the stream. Let people know that we are talking about something that they're interested in. I think if you're in this Pan-African space, this is a very important conversation that we need to have, because what I'm seeing is, because what I'm seeing is, or what I believe I'm seeing is FBA following their failed attempt at reparations, attempting to kind of worm their way into Pan-African spaces and Pan-African situations, especially the situation with IBRAHIM Traore and the Burkinabe independence movement. Now, I've been very critical of IBRAHIM Traore. I will be honest with you, I still have my reservations, but I've talked to some people. I've educated myself on the situation, and IBRAHIM Traore has received a cosign from some people that I really trust. So I've sat that situation in my hope for the best pile. That being said, there has never been a moment where I did not want IBRAHIM Traore to be successful. If he is the right leader for the Burkinabe people, if he is the right man to get the situation over there on track, then I wish him all the best. And if he is everything we hope that he is, everything should work out fine. But what I'm noticing is that corrupted elements within Black America have now taken notice of what's happening over in Burkina Faso. And I believe that they have identified a situation where they can secure a bag. And one thing we know about FBA, one thing we know about TARIQ Nasheed is they have a very simple formula or policy when it comes to their attempts to get a handout. Either you're gonna allow them into your situation so that they can co-opt it and fracture it, much in the way that Tariq fractured the ADOS movement, or they are willing to become operatives, I would say, on behalf of entities or interests that are adversarial to your movement. Ask me how I know. Well, has anyone noticed that FBA and elements within FBA are, from where I'm sitting, attempting to start a race war in America? This situation where they are openly making fun of Caucasians and other groups of people, especially during times of tragedy. I mean, I'm noticing that, but are you? I truly believe that this is intentional. I truly believe that FBA, and I said this before, I predicted all of this before, right? I told you, once FBA was forced to accept that reparations wasn't happening, I told you that they would go on like a scorched earth campaign to destroy any and everything that Black people have built in America thus far. I told you that once they realized that they weren't going to get a handout, that would begin the process of them entering into a state of group psychosis. And they would take to the internet and they would be on a mission to steal, kill, and destroy. And that is what I'm seeing unfolding here. In America, I feel like they're purposely agitating other groups of people, hoping to get those other groups to react in a violent way, so that because they believe that they will be able to use a violent attack on African Americans as a vehicle or a springboard from which to relaunch a argument or a mission to secure reparations again. But we know that this won't work, because if the situation that unfolded in Buffalo, New York, where a white supremacist walked into a grocery store, a predominantly Black grocery store, and gunned down several Black people, and FBA did nothing, received nothing, barely even talked about it, just let it pass. Well, what makes you think that if they agitate a violent situation, the results or their actions would be anything different? I'm telling you, they won't. I'm telling you, these people have gotten to the point where they are on a path of self-destruction, because if they can't get a handout for doing nothing, then they're willing to destroy everything that Black American has been secure, has been able to build. And just as my brother Hakeem Johnson is saying in the comments, Tariq Nasheed's grifts must be documented. When he tried to take me to court and sue me based on obvious lies that he was telling, an obvious con with the Hidden Hustle Lounge, he continuously used the word documentation. Oh, well, we didn't win, but we got the documentation. So Tariq, we've learned something from you, and we're going to take a page out of your playbook. We are going to start documenting your cons. We're going to start documenting your grifts, and we're going to start disseminating this information around the Pan-African world so that any and everybody will know to be on the lookout for you. No more t-shirts, nigga. No more phasing in and out of different Black movements to secure a bag. We're not doing that. You've finally chosen your side, and you're going to stay on that side. You're going to stay on the side of xenophobia, self-hate, and the ass-kissing of Caucasians when it suits you. And you're not going to be able to segue in between or different Black spaces and movements to get a bag, vacate or leave the movement, and then begin to slander the movement. But what I'm noticing in a video is Tariq Nasheed is now trying to walk back his tether label that he has placed on Black Americans, Black Americans who don't agree with him, and African or Black immigrants who are brave enough to stand up to Tariq and FBA and won't allow themselves to be bullied by his nonsense. Because what I want you to understand is that FBA is not lineage based. FBA is an arbitrary term where the determination of whether you are FBA or not is based on whether or not Tariq Nasheed likes you and whether or not you agree with the nonsense and hate that he spews. On top of that, FBA is, and the same applies to the term tether. Tether is not something that is solely dedicated to Black immigrants. Black Americans who have family members that have been here since the very first group of us were brought here are also labeled tethers by Tariq Nasheed if they do not agree with the xenophobia and hatred and willful ignorance. If they don't agree to fall under the umbrella of Tariq's ignorance, well, you can be a tether as well. It doesn't matter if you have nothing but Black American DNA, which is African DNA, so it doesn't even make sense to me. But hey, these guys are far beyond the point of being reasoned with. So what a con artist has to do, and we learned this from Dane Calloway, a con artist has to do two things. They have to present themselves as the sole source of information and truth to their followers so that their followers never go look anywhere else for information. And they have to do this because that allows them to continuously change or redefine words and terminology that they have coined in an effort to slander whatever group has fallen under their criticisms at that time, right? And Dane Calloway is a master at this. Actually, I believe this is a tactic that Tariq stole from Dane's playbook, because I remember when Dane Calloway used to use Google as a source of information. And then I remember when Dane Calloway discredited Google as a source of information, when people begin to use Google to debunk a lot of his conspiracy theories. Then I remember when Dane Calloway used to use the Library of Congress as a source for reliable information. He even used Wikipedia. He even used scholarly journals from Google, from Google's scholarship tabs. And then I remember when Dane Calloway discredited all those information sources, when people begin to use, scholars begin to use those search engines and information sources to debunk Dane Calloway and his conspiracy theories. So guys, this is par for the course when it comes to con artists. They need to be able to define and redefine. They need to define. They need to be able to adapt and evolve to heightened awareness. So now that we have all basically chosen sides, we're either with Tariq or against Tariq. Now Tariq needs to evolve the terminology, redefine the terms. He needs to evolve the message so that he can bring more people under the umbrella of his influence. And the reason why this continuously works is because many African Americans and African continentals and immigrants, Black people, period, many Black people just have a need to be accepted or to be a part of something. There are still Black immigrants who listen to Tariq Nasheed every day, even though he berates them and calls them tethers and blames them for everything bad that happens in Black America, right? I mean, Tariq went as far as to say Black immigrants brought AIDS into America and brought AIDS into the Black community. But that need for acceptance, that need to be a part of a community is so strong in some of us that we're willing to take abuse just to be able to say that we're a part of something. And that's something that we need to work on. But just like my brother Junie Zone is saying, Tariq got himself a ban from the UK. And I think we need to start pushing for Tariq to be banned from Burkina Faso and as many African countries as we can. Because many African people don't even know who Tariq Nasheed is. And so what that means is he can take a trip to Burkina, present himself as some type of big-time Pan-African person. And because he knows a couple of famous people and his face has been in a couple of productions, he got a couple videos of him with important people, African people might actually fall for it. They might actually fall for it because they don't know any better. And one thing you don't want to do is sit back and allow a situation where a con artist is able to infiltrate an African country and secure a position of power for himself. And guys, it has happened in the past. Believe it or not, it has happened in the past where people who are con artists have got in close with African leaders of third world countries, and the next thing you know, these people are calling shots. There are several examples when you look at the situation in South America. You know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 50s, there were many cult leaders who made agreements with South American governments to come down to bring their cults down to South America. And they basically said, look, if you let me bring my cult down to South America, I will use my hired thugs to do wet work for you, getting rid of your political enemies. And if cult leaders from America do it, no one will be able to connect it back to you. You let me exploit my people, and I will assist you in the exploitation of your people. You don't want this type of situation to develop on the continent of Africa. And it is very real. I agree. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. Same thing with the Hebrew Israelites. You do not want to create a situation where these cult groups are allowed to infiltrate African countries and spread their destructive messages across the African continent. Africa is already, is struggling, but these people are resilient and they're willing to work for what they want. You don't want to give them the spirit of victimhood. You don't want to let that cancer infiltrate the African continent. Because when people start looking at themselves like victims, man, they're just easy to knock over and take advantage of. I'm keeping it real with you. And it looks to me like Tariq is an old coon who's angry about reparations, and he spotted a pot of gold in Africa, and he wants to be able to exploit and take advantage of it. That's what it looks like to me. And this language that he's using is very troubling, because I know he's about to try to make a play. Haven't really identified what the play will be, but I'm just letting y'all know, be prepared for the FBA, for the IBRAHIM Traore documentary. Be prepared for the Burkina Faso revolution documentary. And it's a very real possibility that this can happen, because we know Tariq has people like Professor James Smalls and different Pan-African grifters, right, on his payroll. He has them on speed dial, and he uses them to give validity to the nonsense that he does, right? I remember how heartbroken I was to see Professor James Small up there capping for TARIQ Nasheed. But what can I say? There are many of us who are ruled by money, and we will do any and everything in an effort to acquire money, right? And why my brother is telling me he has been planning something because he stopped going on vacation every other week. Oh, 100%. He got to start bringing money in again because the FBA donations for the Hidden Hustle Museum are starting to dry up. See, understand something. Before we get into this, let me tell you something about our people. Black folks are down to spend money and blow money when we think that there is money on the way. That's just the nature of us. We are down to spend money and blow money when we believe we got some money coming. Y'all know that, right? But when we realize that there ain't no money coming, we get real tight with our money. We get real tight with our wallet. And that's what's going on here. TARIQ needs a new play. He needs a new cause that he can sell to his audience so that they'll be willing to open up their wallets again. This is easy. Like, guys, I taught y'all about this already. One thing about anybody who talks about TARIQ, anybody who talks about this situation, nobody is going to be able to educate you more on the operations of TARIQ because I've literally lived through it. And he's come at me with his tactics, and I beat him. And I beat him, and that's what has him pissed. He will always adapt and overcome when a challenge arises because his very survival depends on it. I'm keeping it a buck with you. TARIQ Nasheed needs a new message because everything he does relies on a message. And once he finds a message that resonates with his audience, that's when the t-shirts start getting printed. That's when the rallies start happening. And that's when the donation links start getting sent. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And he is going to, just like he used Haiti. We've seen this movie before. Just like TARIQ used Haiti and then started hating on Haitians. I believe TARIQ is trying to use Burkina Faso in the same way. And one of the things that helps him use Burkina is the fact that there isn't much information about Burkina coming out. So he knows that people are very hungry to know about what's developing there. See, one thing about TARIQ is he's old enough to know how to play the long game. He's old enough to know how to look at things from a distance and slowly start building a case or a con around that situation. And guess what? I would not be surprised if an FBA rally in solidarity with Burkina Faso is coming in the near future, because that is why TARIQ wants to identify and establish FBA as its own unique ethnic group, because then he will be able to hold the keys to whether or not FBA stands in solidarity with something or if FBA openly rejects something. And they will follow him no matter where he goes, because it is a anti-African, anti-Black hate cult. That's what it is. Because that group is willing to victimize any Black person, whether they're the descendant of American slaves or a African immigrant. And they'll do it at the drop of a hat. They don't care. They are constantly moving the goalpost on who is or is not an FBA. And now it seems to me like they're trying to move the goalpost on who is or is not a so-called tether. And if you don't believe me, let's tap in.
Grover, what's up, Grover?
Quick question. Foundational Black America from Long Beach.
Oh, the guys
what I
from
really
same
want
city
to
as
know,
me.
Tariq, in your opinion, who do you think is like most dangerous to the Black community? Would you say it's American or tethers?
Oh, man. Well, our Sambo class, we can identify them. No, and I would say tethers because the tethers are more covert. See, the Sambos within our community, they still have to, for the most part, live among us to a certain degree. So we know who they are. Like, for example, Larry Elder, he's a domestic Sambo. He's not a threat because we know him. We know how he gets down. When he shows up, here this fool goes. So we already know. The domestic Sambos, they have to be more overt with their Samboing, whereas the tether class Sambos, they can be more covert because they can come around us cosplaying and then go hide off somewhere and we don't know where they are. They got these little immigrant enclaves that protects them to a certain degree. You understand?
Yeah.
So that makes them more dangerous because they come out of nowhere.
This guy who's listening to this is so ignorant, and Tariq is trying to explain this, and it makes no sense. A domestic Sambo can hide among you easier than a so-called tether because the domestic Sambo sounds like you, he looks like you, he talks like you, he knows your culture, he knows your history, he knows your sensitivities, he knows everything about you because he is you, except for he's an operative for interests that go against your own. So he can hide in plain sight. Larry Elder could start screaming from the hills, "I love Africa" tomorrow. I'll give you the perfect example. Roland Martin. Roland Martin puts on a dashiki. Roland Martin puts on a dashiki, goes to Ghana, and all of a sudden he's black. And he's Pan-African, and he's pro-Africa. He take that dashiki off, come back to it. No, he actually leaves the dashiki on, actually. He comes back to America, and he's talking about letting transgender men in women's bathrooms. He's supporting that. He's supporting men in women's sports. Shit that would never be permitted in Africa. So what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? That is a American-born Sambo. And he is way more dangerous because the American Sambo class, they actually have huge followings of people who actually believe they're pro-black, actually believe they want what's best for Africa. The American Sambo class is the class that Tariq Nasheed is part of and the people who follow him. People like K&K Squad. People like give me another example. People like anybody. What's the people who's conning over in Africa? Like Lou Major and people like that. That's the Sambo class because they are able to blend in with you and you have a natural trust for them because they have a shared experience with you. But an immigrant, soon as a person start talking with a accent or tell you they from Nigeria, you immediately gonna think they trying to scam because we've been trained to associate an African accent with scamming. I am an African prince. I need you to send me $25,000 so I can give to bank to release these millions that I have type shit. What are you talking about? This man's just starts and ends on a lie every time, right? This man starts and ends on a lie every time. The American Sambo is way more dangerous. The American Sambo has led black people to their doom. The American Sambo can get black people in situations that are adverse and that are life-threatening. See? So stop it with the dumb shit. We know what this is already, and that's why you're here and you're not there, because these are basic things that all black people should understand if you really want to be real, if you want to be real about it. These so-called tethers come to America and they're just trying to make money. They ain't trying to start no movements. They ain't trying to freaking do no marches. I promise you, the one group that is never in any march for anything is the black immigrant. They like, dude, I ain't trying to get deported. I'm trying to get my chili. Philip Randolph. Exactly. Phil Scott. Come on, we can name them all. We can list them one by one. Professor Black Truth. Jason Black. Dane Calloway. What are you talking about? The reason these people are trusted is because they identify with us. They listen to our music. They share our culture. And they literally weaponize that against us. They use that trust, right? Remember that movie? Remember the movie The Terminator? And remember, as the Terminators evolved, they said that the machines became smarter. And so they would disguise the machines, the Terminators, like people that people loved. Remember that? If you follow the lore of Terminator, John Connor is actually killed by a T-500 or T-800, whatever it's called. What is it, guys? I don't want to be wrong. I think it's a T-800. That's the one that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And they used one of those because that is the one that he grew attached to as a boy. So when he saw that, he let his guard down and it killed him. See? So stop it with this. Tethers are more dangerous than Sambos. See what I'm saying? Do you see how Tariq tries to create this narrative that gives black people, that makes us like stop looking for the real threat and start looking at people who really pose no threat to us? You look at dudes like Charlemagne the God. You look at these people out here advocating for this LGBTQ and transgender nonsense. That's not no damn tethers doing that. That's people who think they know you. People like Kamala Harris. People who Tariq will say is a black person because they got one drop of black blood in them. She said, oh, I wear Chucks. I listen to Tupac. Yeah, I smoked weed. These people use their familiarity with your culture as a weapon against you. And this idiot is so desperate to try to make a penny, he will literally tell you to let your guard down around these people, to hyper focus on a group of people who ain't even interested in doing nothing to you or with you, let alone to you. Stop it, Tariq. You sound dumb. And the dude from Long Beach, I'm ashamed that he's from Long Beach because he sounds stupid too.
Give an example. During the early Black Lives Matter uprisings that were later labeled Black Lives Matter uprisings, I would show up to these different cities and we out there with the FBA family seeing what's popping, and then all of a sudden some strange people start showing up with bullhorns, saying, hey, yes, we are the leaders of this and we need justice. Black Lives Matter and immigrants matter and trans lives matter. We're like, who are these people? People would show up and nobody would know who they were. Nobody knew where they came from. And that's one of the reasons that kind of planted the seed for the delineation movement, because these folks would show up and be considered leaders, and then they'll start talking crazy. They'll start pivoting the energy. It would be weird stuff going on. And when we start asking about people, nobody knew them. Nobody knew anything about them, which was unusual. Because sometimes, part of our culture, like somebody show up like, hey, whose man is that? Whose homegirl is that? Oh, like, that's such and such. That's whoop-de-whoop's cousin. That's such and such uncle. That's such and such daughter.
That's how we look at you, Tariq, when you walk in the room. Now, what did he say? He said part of our culture is when somebody walk in, we be like, yo, who the F is that? Who's this person? Who he with? That's the way you need to be looking at him as he tries to worm his way back under the umbrella of Pan-Africanism. See, we told you guys about 5 years ago, Africa is the future, no matter whether you want to accept that or not. And what Tariq did was like, I'm going to run a couple of plays and then I'm going to hop on the back to Africa situation. Because I would not be surprised if Tariq Nasheed ended up retiring in Africa. Because the way he operates, where he has to go from con to con, the only place on earth right now where I could see Tariq getting one last score and being good for the rest of his worthless life would be Africa. See, I'm telling you, this guy will slide right down up into one of those African countries, and it'll probably be like a lesser traveled African country, and just be up in there trying to sucker people up under his wing, telling people who he know and how famous he is. Trust me, this guy Tariq is a clown, 100%. And it's so crazy. Let me tell you how real this shit is. I was just working on a project with somebody who I met who was criticizing me because I was talking shit about Tariq Nasheed. They came into this circle as a loyalist, right? They came into my space as a Tariq Nasheed loyalist. And now that person has seen that they know Tariq. You know what I'm saying? They work in the same field as him as far as Hollywood. And because they've been watching this channel, they know that they realized that bro is a con artist. And they invited me down to their studio. I recorded some stuff with them. We had a great time. Very professional, very nice studio. This was very recent. And, that person, they actually have a real, a real resume. They've made movies that have actually made money, movies that are on Netflix, movies that are actually on Tubi, movies that actually you had to pay to watch, at home. See, I don't know if real actors, Boris Kojo and stuff like that, working under their direction, not like Tariq making these garage movies, these fake ass documentaries and Z-level horror movies. So what I'm telling you is this situation is not like above me. And I'm in the space with people who are like, yeah, you could use your knowledge of Hollywood and how you play the Hollywood game to basically operate as a con artist or a grifter in any space. And Alan, he said he disagrees. Let me see Alan. I know Alan. So I want to see what he's disagreeing. He always disagreeing with some shit. He's a Tariq Nasheed loyalist anyway. Have you noticed Tariq has a hat on all the time? Oh, yeah. I guess he no longer has an FBA hairline. Facts. My hairline been jacked up lately too, but it's still a very strong FBA hairline. But yeah, so this is what's going on here. Tariq is doing what he does best. He softens you up before any con that he has. He first softens you up by changing the lingo, changing the definitions, and telling you something that he once told you to watch out for is less of a threat than something else. That's how you know the con is coming. That's how you know the con is coming.
You know, we kind of have a background on people. Generally, we would know things about people. But these tethers would show up and nobody would know nothing about them. And then later we started putting two and two together. Where are all these people coming with this shit? And don't nobody know anything about them. We start digging into their backgrounds and we saw a common denominator. The common denominator is, okay, these people are from like Africa and the Caribbean. So there's something to that. This is not a coincidence. Every time there's some bullshit going on with these folks who's sneaking around and lurking around, and they're doing some real devious stuff behind the scenes, kind of sabotaging what's going on, we start looking in their backgrounds. They're from Africa or the Caribbean. So there's some kind of deliberate play going on here. So that's very dangerous. Well, it was dangerous because now we're doing paperwork checks now. So, you know, both of them are dangerous. Domestic Sambos and foreign tether class Sambos, they're very, very dangerous. All right, let's get AJ. Let's get AJ in the building. AJ, what's happening, AJ?
Man, Rad 7 Facts, lying his ass off.
Mr. AJ, hop on in. AJ, unmute your microphone, sir.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, AJ. What's happening?
Oh, we spoke a few days ago, but yeah.
What did we talk about a few days? Because you kind of seem familiar. What we talk about?
We talked about the GoFundMe bullshit. I mean, people posting videos. Some of these videos.
I'm trying to remember. Are you Hispanic? What are you? AJ? AJ, what happened to your phone, man?
Nothing happened to his phone. He cut that
AJ,
full off.
Did you drop an empalada?
Now did you?
Hello, AJ.
Guys, these are the type of cons this dude runs. Let's see.
Okay, AJ just went silent.
Nah, AJ didn't drop off. Tariq, we heard you disconnect him. He literally disconnected that dude and then tried to say, AJ, where are you at? AJ, where are you at? Bro, because the dude was about to start talking about GoFundMe and all this stuff. Bro is such a scam artist, bro. He's such a con artist. And I'm telling you, this guy runs this hustle all the time. He's literally cutting people off when they're going to talk about things that he doesn't want to discuss.
Okay. I think he dropped an empanada on his phone.
Stop.
You know, AJ's trying to get back on. Okay, let me get it back on. Excuse me.
Sure.
All right, so what's on? Okay, now, are you a Hispanic? I forgot. Just jog my memory, man.
No, my dad's from Iraq. My mom's white.
Okay, I kind of remember. You're Middle Eastern, kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what's on your mind, AJ?
I was asking you the other day about some of these videos. Do you think this is being algorithmically pushed?
Which videos?
All of it. The whole timeline is people fight, racial bullshit. The whole timeline, everything. All of it.
No,
and some of the videos are old. These aren't recent videos.
Yeah.
These are 5 years old, 10 years old.
Yeah, some people are rehashing old videos. Some
tributes to society.
Sides of the fence can get. Slow down. Why do you have Somali FBA? That's a contradiction.
Sir, we're gonna have some straightening.
Now,
Let's
first
slow
off,
down.
before we do
slow down, we need some straightening. Let's
straightening. What you gonna straighten some injera bread? What you gonna? All right.
Oh, we need some straightening, Tariq.
You what?
We need some straightening.
You need some straightening?
Nah, we gotta get some straightening for you.
Oh,
you are totally blasphemous. We need some straightening.
Okay, how you gonna get some straightening? What you gonna straighten some injera bread? What you gonna straighten?
Nah. We need to dive deep.
You gonna straighten that tapeworm you pull out your damn
Nah,
stomach, nigga.
let's slow down. Let's
Okay.
slow down. We need some straightening. Let's just slow down.
Uh-huh. Molly FBA.
Sir, we're gonna get some straightening. Let's slow down.
You better explain that, and you got 2 seconds.
Sir, I am a FBSA foundational Somali Black American, but we're gonna get some straightening tonight.
No. Foundational to what?
Foundational to here.
No, you're not.
My
You
lineage.
immigrated here.
No, my lineage is tied down to here.
No, it's
just
not.
Like your lineage.
No, it's not. How is your lineage tied here and you immigrated?
Sir, I never immigrated. I was born
You're an
here.
anchor baby. You're still an immigrant. You're an anchor baby.
Sir, we're about to get some straightening.
No,
I'm about to break it all
sir.
down.
The only thing was straightening was your umbilical cord that they anchored your ass here with. They straightened that cord out.
Slow down. We're gonna get some straightening right now.
And then they wiped the damn baklava off your umbilical cord. But sir, you're not. I just don't like you using the term Somali FBA.
Let's slow down,
Listen,
sir.
sir.
We're gonna get some straightening. Cause you need some straightening, sir. We're gonna get you some
Are
straightening.
you high off cat?
That nigga
You're
sounds
saying the
drunk.
same thing over and over. You're high off that cat.
Sir, let's slow it down. Sir,
The only thing
gonna
that's
get some
slow
straightening.
is your metabolism. That's very slow. That's already slowed down.
See,
Sir,
and this is
Sir,
what
Because you
and this is
start
what I'm
eating
telling you.
regularly.
This is what I'm telling you. You see how you have dudes who come up and they act like they're opposition to Tariq, but then Tariq starts telling jokes and they laughing, and Tariq is so funny. See, these are the type of people who will facilitate Tariq getting into an African country. See, because what we know is many of the African immigrants who come to America, they are members of the elite class. They are elitist. They're the children of very wealthy people in Africa. And in Africa, just like every other, in all other continents, rich people are well tied in with the government. So what I'm telling you is this idea that Tariq can get his claws into an African government, it's not really that far off. Like, pay attention. See, because what if this guy is the son of some rich dude out in Somalia? Or he's a Somali whose parents live in Kenya or in Nigeria or one of those countries, and they're rich and they're tapped in with the government over there. Oh yeah, this guy named Tariq Nasheed, he's this and that, and he's great, and everybody knows him. If you got dudes like Akon and Idris Elba who can go to African countries and run scams about smart cities, right? And minute cities, and it's gonna be a smart city, and this crap. You don't think Tariq could go over there and run maybe a smaller con, but even more detrimental because of Tariq's willingness to slander people after he cons them, after he exploits them? Understand. Onyx Palms, I like your question. If they're the children of rich people, why are they driving for Uber Eats? A lot of people, when they're immigrants, they have to have a job, right? So while you in all of your wisdom, think that driving Uber Eats is like some type of like negative thing, or it means they're poor, one thing about immigrants is, one, they might be over here on a student visa and they can't work, and they're able to work Uber Eats under someone else's account, and they could be doing that to make money and give some type of remittance and pay their family. That happens. Or they might have to have a job as a stipulation to their visa for them to get over here. Trust me, it's a lot of stuff It's a lot of people working that don't even need to work. They work because they need a paper trail. Because if you're just in America spending thousands of dollars, eventually America's going to be like, where are you getting this money? It's a lot of reasons why somebody could be driving Uber Eats. That ain't no big thing. Some of them will drive Uber Eats just so they can have a car. Like, hey, my pops won't give me money for a car, even though he's rich. So I'm going to drive Uber Eats or Uber because Uber let me get the whip for, free as long as I'm doing rides. Like, one thing you'll notice about like Africans and immigrants, they know all the hustles. They know all the tricks. You got people working at taco stands who are cartel members. Why are they doing that? Because if I don't got a job or a paper trail now and I'm spending big money, the government is watching. And that's what you don't understand yet. You're not wise enough to understand. Someone's always watching anybody who's spending money. If you spending any significant bread, they're watching you because Uncle Sam wants his cut. He want to know where you got it, and he want to make sure that you're giving him his cut. But like I was saying, this idea that Tariq could get attached to an African government is very real. It's not something that, he can't do that. He can't do that. Ain't no way he could do that. Please. You think the government down in Senegal don't know Akon full of shit? But he's paid off government officials who allow him to run his hustle, the A-coin and all that stuff, and exploit people from other countries. And they'll even go so far as to take pictures with him and stuff. They don't care. They getting their cut. They know what the situation is. Same thing with Idris Elba. Same thing with some of these these so-called Pan-African con artists. A lot of these people are tapped in with the local government. And it's very easy. But the problem is someone like Tariq, because he actually hates other black people, he has a disdain for other black people. Tariq doesn't go in, take what he wants, and leaves things intact. Tariq does scorched earth, like when he was doxing his own FBA members and those Secure the Tribe members when they caused him not to be able to get, when they cost him his opportunity to work on Revolt. We already know Akon City's a scam. Come on. But this is what Tariq does. And these people who laugh and joke, and these black immigrants, these people are the real Sambos. See, they're all really Sambos. But the immigrants, the stuff they do threatens their homeland. The stuff that they do doesn't really threaten Black America, because ain't no Black American about to do a damn thing that a person with an accent tell them to do as far as their money. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But they do pose a threat to their own homeland.
And you ain't eating Red Cross rice no more, nigga. So you can slow that down. All right.
Nah, slow it down.
All right. Thank you. Let me get some more people in here. All right. Some damn Somali FBA. Dev. Dev.
Hello.
What's up, Dev?
Tariq, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. What's going on with you, Mr. Dev?
Not much, but I wanted to tap in on what was going on with Myron today. So you remember that girl, like not too long ago, who said, basically she got famous for saying the N-word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was on the panel, and Pierce Morgan was talking to her, and Myron and, Mark Lamont Hill was kind of like explaining why the situation was bad, kind of going when they were comparing the Carmelo Anthony situation, right? Basically, Mark was saying that Carmelo Anthony, they're basically raising money for his defense,
right,
because he's not, guilty as charged. It's like, hey, innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And they're raising money for the lady, but all they're raising their money for is just that, they said the N-word.
Right. Literally no other reason, just rewarding her for being a racist. That's literally it.
Exactly. And then what happened was, the lady, the girl Lily Gaddis, that's her name. She said the N word, and she said to Pierce, like, yeah, I say it all the time, and basically, just getting real bold with it, like you was just talking about, like, hey, these white supremacists are getting bold, and Pierce couldn't even, like, because people suspect Pierce might be a suspected white supremacist too,
Yeah,
but
which he is.
he couldn't even, he couldn't even really defend. So he's like, man, I can't even like, I can't even kind of spin this.
But,
so he had to get on.
Pierce know what he was doing. That's why he put her up there, though. You understand?
Yeah,
that's why he ain't slick. They get up there and play. Oh my God, she's saying N-word. Oh wow. Ooh, clutch the pearls. Yeah, you put her up there for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the last thing. Basically, where Myron came in was that he was basically trying to do his whole spiel is like, hey man, I'm gonna get in there and defend these, start tap dancing and everything. And he was trying to equate the two situations. Like, yeah, man, you listen to me, people like Tariq Nasheed and everybody, they could get on here and do Black Lives Matter, but when you do a Life Lives Matter, and Mark Hill broke that down. It's like, oh, it's not the same thing. When somebody says Black Power, you know what they're trying to do. You're trying to empowerment for the things that we've gone through, things that foundational Black Americans have gone through, and then as opposed to white power. When I'm white power, it's some different energy.
Right.
This dude really think Tariq cares about what he has to say. Boy, Tariq is way far. Tariq is down with white supremacists. We saw that at the FBA, the hidden hustle lounge, the hidden horror lounge, when Tariq had all them white dudes at those tables drinking alcohol. When we saw that Tariq's publicist is a white lady. Tariq is right in bed with white folks. That's why they allow Tariq to do what he does. He's controlled opposition. His job is to undermine anything Black people are trying to do by using his ability to connect with Black people on the lowest level of ignorance. That's all this is about. They felt like ADOS might be a threat. They sent Tariq in. They felt like Pan-Africanism might be a threat. They sent Tariq in. And it's working. Tariq has a group of people, Black people. Think about this. When you were growing up, your mom and dad never taught you to hate Black immigrants. There was a general understanding that though they come from a different place, we all originate from the same place, and they are our brothers. We got blood connection, no matter what. Tariq has introduced basically a new ideology, a new narrative among Black people that has divided us in a way that the white man could have never dreamed of. Think about that. Tariq has divided Black people more with this tether and FBA nonsense than white people have ever been able to. We went through slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, civil rights, and all that. In our connection based on our Blackness remained intact. It wasn't until this fool realized that he could profit off Black people more by isolating a certain groups for him to exploit, that we started this narrative. Guys, in 2015, you didn't even know what a tether was. In 2015, you didn't even know what an FBA was. Now, every ignorant Black person in America got it rolling off their damn lips. Hell yeah, Dr. Claude Anderson was wrong. What you mean? You know how I know Claude Anderson was wrong? What the fuck did he ever do? He knew all this about economics and finances and this and this and that. Oh, I tried to tell Black people, bro, Warren Buffett didn't need to tell nobody nothing. He went out and used his knowledge of the economy and the stock market to go get it. And I promise you, in his old age, if we gave Warren Buffett $1,000 and took everything from him, he'd be rich before he died. Listen to me. Now, yeah, he believed this shit, but Claude Anderson never told you to be xenophobic against black people from other places. He told you to claim what's rightfully yours and stand up for yourself and get what was owed to you. But the message of hatred and xenophobia, Claude Anderson never promoted nothing like that. Ever. Know your history. Tariq is the one who added the hatred, the xenophobic black hatred in, because he said, if I introduce the racism and if I exploit these people and take advantage of their self-hatred, that will make it easier for me to take advantage of them and nobody come to their aid. Because now, if Tariq got FBA for $100 million, nobody would give a fuck. We would never even move a muscle, because we'll say what? They get what they got what they deserve. That's what he wanted. He now has a captive audience of victims. He has isolated his victims, and there's really no one who really cares enough to do anything about it. And they're so ignorant, they got Stockholm syndrome. They've identified with the person who's exploiting them so totally that they'll never stop with the bullshit. They'll never stop. Look at Daniel Beverly still hating on Tariq, and you still watching me hate on Tariq. But guys, we're not going to be here forever. I'm going to put the link in the comments. And everybody's welcome to come up. Tariq ass-lickers included. I'm going to play this as Tariq tries to pretend. What I'm about to play now is Tariq pretending like he stands in solidarity with IBRAHIM Traore.
Yeah, just because he has melanin, he doesn't really represent foundational Black Americans. They use black faces to carry out white imperial agendas, just like they do with the African leaders over there. Before y'all start pointing your finger at Langley, you better look at all the Sambos and all of those African nations. You got 53 other African nations with Sambos in your way before y'all can point to some damn Langley. All right. There's 53 other Sambo-ran nations over there. All right. And again, and I rock with Brother IBRAHIM Traore. I rock with him. I like what he's doing. I rock with him. More, but just like Julius Malema. I like Julius Malema.
Of course you like Julius Malema. He's pro-LGBTQ. That's where Tariq gonna run to. Watch. Oh, Tariq ain't going to no African country. Watch Tariq pop up on y'all ass in South Africa, getting his cheeks busted.
I like what y'all saw. I was very supportive of Malema. And you're talking about getting rid of systematic white supremacy. I'm all for that. You see, and don't take that energy to foundational Black Americans. If you don't like what's going on, take that to them embassies. Organize at them NATO meetings. Yeah. We organize, protest over here against stuff. Y'all do that over there at them embassies. You got some of your relatives over in Europe. They need to be organizing over there. Yeah. Yeah, don't point the finger at Langley. There's too many corrupt African leaders over there for you to put it all on Langley. Yeah, Langley is like a nothing burger to us over here. Yeah. Because again, we've always supported your sovereignty. Any African nation over there, we've been all for the sovereignty, all the independence movements. Again, we were foundational Black Americans. We were helping write up the charters and the documents and some of the constitutions over there for many of those independent African nations. So
if we did that and helped them with their independence movements and we were in solidarity with them, why did you start hating on them when they start coming to America? If we got 100 years of history, why are you in 2017 or 2018, why all of a sudden did you turn on them, Tariq? What was your motivation for that? What did you gain from it? Personally, he gained a lot. But what has FBA gained from hating on black immigrants? You haven't gained a single freaking thing. I'm sincerely asking, what has FBA gained from hating on black immigrants? The only thing hating on black immigrants has produced for FBA is pain. Because you let Tariq use your hatred to exploit you for money. You let Tariq use your hatred to exploit you for money. What the hell does that? What is the benefit of that? You're just poor. You pay for a building that you ain't never gonna go to in California. Stop it, Duran. Stop it. You ain't even delineated. Donnie Watkins or Williams, if you can tell me how you've delineated, please, I'll give you $20. I'll cash app you $20. I'm giving you the link right here. How have you delineated? Bro, if you go on any government website, we're still referred to as African Americans or black, not of Hispanic descent. That's not delineation. Daniel Beverly, let's go. You got the floor. Explain to me how you've delineated from from tethers or black immigrants in America.
Yes. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, your lineage it's not a group. Basically, Africans and people from the Caribbean, they've already delineated. That's why they have their separate celebrations and stuff. So what's the difference?
Do you know what the word delineate means?
Yeah, we have separated.
No. Okay. It's a clear demarcation, a clear separation between two people. How have you delineated?
Because we established our own culture here. And the biggest issue is they didn't come into these groups until we started speaking on reparations.
What do you mean? Tariq has had a huge following of people
and
that are
Africans and Caribbeans weren't calling in whining like they are.
They've always
I've
been
been
Tariq
following
fans.
Tariq, and they
Tariq had a friend. Tariq had a friend named Ola who was a Nigerian years back, and even then Tariq had a huge following of Nigerians.
I said, you didn't hear what I said? I said coming in complaining.
You said calling in complaining, but first you said you didn't have them coming into this group.
No. I said complaining, whining when the reparations discussion began. Now, when do you see FBAs going into African platforms whining about stuff that's going on in Africa?
Y'all do it all the time. But listen,
we mind our business.
So
mind our business.
Let me ask you a question. You don't mind your business. And I could prove that. But African immigrants, black immigrants started coming up whining when Tariq started calling them tethers and telling people that they were a bigger threat to black America than white supremacy. Find me a tether.
Nobody was
okay.
saying,
let me ask you a question.
Tether.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Can you identify for me a YouTube channel right now that is run by a black immigrant where they are openly opposing giving black people reparations?
This is my point. I'm not following them. I don't get into their stuff. I couldn't tell you one African content creator. Don't give a shit.
Right. So
why are people that live in third world conditions from third world countries so interested in what we doing?
I don't really think that they care about what you're doing. I think when when you're saying things like okay, let me ask you a question to see if you're an honest man. Did Tariq not say that black immigrants, African and Caribbean immigrants, brought AIDS into black communities? I
didn't hear him say that.
Well, he said it. And so if I said Daniel
But
Beverly.
hold on.
Wait, no, wait.
There are high levels of AIDS in African countries. So
There's
I'm
high
sure,
levels of
I'm
AIDS in
sure a
black
lot of
communities in
I'm sure a lot,
America.
exactly, but I'm sure a lot of them did come over here with. I don't think that that's a
They
invalid
actually
statement.
test you before
But-
they.
I don't
but
think
the
that's an
patient-
invalid statement.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: if I got up here saying Daniel Beverly got AIDS, and I put that link in the comments, you not gonna call in?
What is that based on? That's just you making up shit, though.
No, it's not me making up something.
It
It's me expecting you to keep it 100. If somebody is slandering you, it makes sense that you're gonna call in to defend yourself.
What I'm saying
So
is,
what you got? So what you guys do?
The call-ins came in. The call-ins came in after the reparation discussion. That's when all those call. I've been listening to Tariq. You can't fool me.
What
They are so scared that a Black American, foundational Black American, will get something that they don't get.
No, this is a lie.
That's why they keep coming in. That's why they keep coming and saying, "You're not going to get it.
You're not being.
Stop begging. Stop begging.
You're not being honest.
Meanwhile, no,
They-
they're not being genuine because they're seeking reparations through CARICOM in the Caribbean.
You're not being honest.
Look it up.
Bro, listen, I followed this thoroughly. When Africans and Caribbeans started calling in, is when Tariq starts saying most of the crime committed in the Black community is committed by Black immigrants. And then he said, no, listen.
That is them. They always say,
are you going to let me finish my statement? Are you going to let me finish my statement?
Yeah, finish
See,
the statement.
see, what you're doing is you're claiming you follow Tariq and you've been around for years, but then you're denying things that Tariq has said repeatedly.
But what I'm saying is, I'm saying what came first. They came first, and then Tariq started roasting the shit out of them.
Bro, we can go back to Tariq's old radio shows and his old
He used to
lives.
support the hell out of African and Pan-Africanism
That's-
in his early stuff.
Exactly, and when it
Until
became
they started-
expedient, when it
until they started using like
when it
shit.
became profitable for him to
No.
walk away from that and
When
start
y'all
with this
started-
fake delineation, that's
they
what he
started-
did.
when they
Wait,
started-
That's what he did. It's
wait,
nothing but a
wait,
grift.
guys,
It's nothing but a grift.
Guys, we can't talk all at the
Y'all
same
always
time.
worried about. See, that's another thing they focus on.
But
They
wait a
always
minute.
worried about money.
Hold on. No, stop. Because you guys are worried about money. You guys then got out here and made a fool out yourself behind somebody else's money. And
We never
looking,
talk about his money.
bro.
All
What
these
I'm,
foreigners
bro,
talk about his money.
what are you talking about? He's always begging for money. So
How
if
is he
someone's
begging for money? If he asks for contributions and makes a film, and he makes the film, that's not a grift.
that
He
is a
It's a
actually
grift.
makes- he
It's a
actually
grift.
produces- He actually
It's a grift
produces
when
the
you-
shit that he asked for.
Can I? I just want to highlight. I'm not going to be up here long, but I do want to highlight something, and this goes to the hypocrisy of Tariq Nasheed and his sycophant fans. They'll sit here and talk about FBA, and act as if somehow FBA or Black American lineage is contradictory to Pan-Africanism when it's not. Pan-Africanism is FBA. FBA created Pan-Africanism.
Exactly.
What are you
It was
niggas talking
one-sided.
about?
It was one.
They the ones who created it. Martin Delaney,
Exactly.
one of the fathers of Pan-Africanism. He
Was
the
there
one.
real-
He the one who came up with the
And we
exploratory
realized the shit
commission
was
to
one-sided.
go to
Well,
Africa.
The-
So
well,
this
here's
is
the
this
thing.
is
terms
this
of
is.
the
Can I just want to finish my
Guys,
point? I just want to finish my point.
We can't listen. Hold on, real quick. Daniel Beverly, you're just regurgitating Tariq Nasheed talking points. Let
I'm
her
just saying the facts.
wait.
I've
No,
lived
you're
this
not
shit.
saying the facts. You don't know what you're talking about because
I
there were
graduated from
listen.
HBCU.
You
with
sound
political science
ignorant
degree.
because there are founders of Pan-Africanism who were living in the Caribbean at the same time. It was not just one person who founded Pan-Africanism. These dudes used to get together
Who
and
said
be in
that? When did I
communication
say
with each
that?
other. You said it was one-sided.
I said one-sided. That don't mean one person did it.
Yes, that does mean that means one
No,
side.
one-sided means
Now
you
you're
do something.
changing.
No,
Now you're
you-
changing.
No, now
Changing.
you don't. Now you're showing your lack of intelligence.
Why would an African
One-sided
person
doesn't
need
mean
to?
one person.
Why
did
would
something.
someone in Africa even need to start something called Pan-Africanism?
Pan-Africanism was supposed to be everybody having unity, but only one group was really helping the other group.
I don't think that's true.
It's like, what's the African We Are the World? When we had apartheid, and we started We Are the World and shit. What's the African equivalent of that?
Many Africans marched
They ain't
and
did
stood.
shit for us.
You know, see,
But
you
come over
sound.
here.
Wait, hold on. I want to
wait.
highlight something. I want to highlight something. I want to highlight something real quick, real quick. When Malcolm X was being assassinated,
I'm the host. You guys got to shut the fuck up and let me host and moderate, because he wants to say something, then you want to say something. Nobody can hear y'all yelling over each other. This guy's ignorant. They ain't done shit. Please, those people stood in solidarity with Black Americans.
You just got a personal thing with Tariq.
I don't have a personal thing with it. I took Tariq to court.
Yeah, you went to court. Yeah, you and Tariq went to court.
So wait, okay. So now we're gonna see how much you know. Who filed? Okay, let me ask you a question. Who filed the paperwork to take who to court in the Tariq and me situation?
From you stalking.
No, who filed the paperwork?
Who lost the case?
He did.
Okay.
So
Sure.
because 100%, because if he won the case, I wouldn't be able to own a gun. I wouldn't be able to go near the Hidden History Museum. I wouldn't be able to say his name on the internet because he tried to get a prior restraint on speech, and I wouldn't be able to even mention him. I just mentioned the bitch ass nigga, and I still got my guns. I was just driving by the Hidden History Museum to do something else the other day. He lost, and he cried like a bitch and came out and tried to jump me with his security, his three Mexican security guards. He admitted he lost, and he said, I lost, but we got it documented. You are the person who's emotional here. That's why you're sitting up here blatantly lying. You're blatantly lying. You're blatantly lying.
I'm blatantly lying.
You just said I lost to Tariq and I filed a case against him.
You have a personal issue.
You just said I filed a case against him.
Do you have personal feelings?
The person who has a personal issue is the person filing court cases.
He exposed Tariq for not having the history museum.
Listen,
that's what it is.
How does he not have a museum?
The person. Listen, bro.
You just said you rode by it, right?
The person who has a personal vendetta is the person filing court cases.
You answer the question. They said he didn't have a museum. Didn't you just say you?
He doesn't have a museum.
It's a Hidden History bar and
there has been
a comedy club.
Hidden History Bar and Grill.
So
first of all,
what have you created in the community?
Listen, first of all, the place is always closed, and then when it's opened, it's used for comedy shows. You can't go to the Hidden History Museum and actually learn.
He's never.
Let me finish. Let me finish. You are not even able to go in there and learn any history in the so-called Hidden History Museum. It's always shuttered with metal gates down in front of the windows so you can't even see inside. There's no need for me to build a museum in LA because there's like 20 African history museums in LA. Plus in Long Beach, we have Pan-African art and another African history museum. So why would I rebuild something stupid? Now, if you want to know what my business that I own, it's a waxing business and it's in a white neighborhood.
That made it great or something? What was that supposed to do?
No, I'm just telling you. You said, what am I doing? I'm working on my own economics in America, and my primary.
So what does Tariq do?
Stop. You asked the question, so shut up and let me answer.
No, I heard you. You just said
no. The things I'm majorly working on are in Africa. That is where I have more businesses. That is where my employees are. That is where my projects are, and that is where I am facilitating a lot of things and getting a lot of things done over there. So that's where my focus is. Now you tell me how you guys donating Tariq $2 million for a building that's constantly closed is helping you guys get reparations, which is the reason why you followed Tariq in the first place. At this moment, how much in monetary reparations have you received?
The whole point is that trying to get reparations.
All right, AB, it's your turn. Go ahead. How much? No, I answered your question. I want you to answer my question. How much have you received since you've been following Tariq?
Stupid.
I'm asking you a question. Since you've been following Tariq, his message. Tariq said this.
If we were receiving reparations,
Daniel, listen, Daniel. Tariq said, "I'm gonna show you how to get reparations." That was his words. Since you've been following Tariq, how much in monetary reparations have you received?
We haven't received any reparations.
Okay.
You know that. That
so
was a stupid
Tariq
ass
has failed
question.
you. So Tariq has failed you.
How Tariq failed? How did Tariq
He said he was going to
fail
show
us
you how to get reparations.
Did he say it was a deadline?
He doesn't even mention reparations anymore.
Exactly.
Now you talk. Now you definitely full of shit. He always talking about reparations.
But I just want to say something real fast, and I'm gonna drop down.
I got you, AB. Right now,
Okay.
I got one last question for Daniel. Daniel, going forward, what is the mission or goal? Right? What is the next operation you guys are about to run in the effort of getting reparations in the form of cash payments? Like, what is on the agenda for the rest of the year, next year, whatever? What is y'all next major project on the mission to get reparations?
First of all, y'all keep being intellectually dishonest. It's FBA is not a group. It's your lineage. You are born FBA or not. You making it seem like it's a group.
I'm asking you a question.
What an agenda.
I'm asking you a question.
It's not
You said there's no deadline. You said if I go to any group
the main
on
thing
earth,
is just to get rid of all the people that's talking down reparations.
but you're not getting rid of them.
Right.
That's like getting rid of all the racists. That's like getting rid of.
We're trying to get rid of haters and coons, but
Okay.
it's hard.
So what Tariq has you in is in a perpetual.
He don't got me in shit. I'm getting money regardless.
So listen.
And Tariq been getting money.
So now
You act like you don't have books and all type of shit.
Hold on real quick. So here's the thing. So now the only way you can get reparations is by getting rid of everyone who speaks against you getting reparations.
We have to ignore the idiots that's speaking against it. It's very hard, but we are identifying the coons now. They were blended in real good because they got the same complexion, a lot of them.
So how does you identifying them help you get reparations?
Because they got exposed.
How does you identifying them help you get reparations?
Exposed. When they
How does you identifying them help you get reparations?
Because those are the people that we can't elect. Those are the people that gotta get off of these boards. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of Jamaicans and shit that'll be on these boards voting.
Jim Clyburn is not Jamaican.
Who?
Jim Clyburn.
He's
as black as it gets.
Didn't I say coons too?
Okay, so y'all gonna get rid of all the coons.
We got coons too. We've been identified Clyburn as a coon.
So you
that's
and
like Clarence Thomas.
So basically, you're never gonna live to see reparations.
Maybe not. That don't mean not to try. And why is it anybody else's business? That's my whole thing. So what if we don't get? What if we don't get it? Why the fuck is that a Jamaican's business?
Listen, let me tell you something.
Do I get in Jamaican politics?
This is what shows you are ignorant.
You're ignorant.
No, you're ignorant. Tariq is now trying to move his grift over to Burkina Faso. We weren't even talking about Tariq until he started trying to do his shit involving Burkina Faso. We said nothing.
I've been talking about Tariq ever since he raised all that money.
We said nothing about reparations. I haven't even done a show on Tariq in like a year.
Pocket watching haters.
You're watching the white man's pockets. You're watching the white man's pockets.
I ain't watching no.
Yes, you are. The U.S. economy is worth this many trillion, so he should give me this many trillion. That's still the white man.
The government.
Who runs the government?
No, the whole people, the whole country. See, that just shows you how stupid you are.
All right, AB, go ahead.
You think it's the white man's
government?
Okay,
the government is the whole people.
Go ahead.
All right, so if the government is the whole people, that means immigrants should have a say in us getting reparations, then, right? Y'all got to be consistent, but I don't even want to deal with that because the bottom line is reparations are not happening anytime soon, and the way we know that is because we're not doing the political work to make that a reality. That's number one. The second thing is I want to respond to what this brother was saying when he said that Pan-Africanism has been one-sided. I suggest you go look up Pio Gama Pinto, who was a Kenyan political fighter. He was a Pan-Africanist, and this brother was also assassinated at the same time with Malcolm X because he was working with Malcolm X. See, if Tariq don't put it in one of his documentaries, they won't know it.
Right.
So they just gonna go listen to something he's saying on Twitter space, smacking his lips while he running a grift on them. And it is a grift. Like, check this out. Something else I've been noticing about Tariq, Mr. Nasheed, is if you notice, he's no longer making this big old fuss about who really started hip hop because he ain't trying to sell a documentary about it no more.
Right.
Anything that this guy is talking about, it's always going to lead to him trying to sell something. That's the grift. Either you're an activist or you're a capitalist. You can't be both. And the thing about it is, you know, people think they're being on code, but you're being on code with somebody who's running the grift on you. You're the mark. See, the immigrant isn't the mark. I'm gonna say what it is, and I'm gonna get off. We have to be honest, and I'm FBA. I'm Black American, but we have to be honest. These immigrants come over here and they see opportunity, and they're gonna get out there and they're gonna do what they got to do. When there's certain stuff
Why
as
can't they do it in
Americans,
their own country?
Hey,
why should they have to do it in we live in a global
95%.
number one? Let me answer that. There's a very simple. There's a very simple
Stay-
question to
stay on
that.
your point. Stay on your point. Stay on your point.
Okay, they come over here and they take
Make Nigeria
advantage
great
of the
again.
opportunity. They take advantage of the opportunities that's here. But we don't do that. What we do as FBA, we want to rap. We want to be an athlete. Now we want to be the next. We want to be the next top podcaster. We don't come over here and grind like we're supposed to grind. So now what's happening is these people coming over here and outdoing us. I'll give you a perfect example. The number one educated group in this country are Nigerians. So how you gonna say that as Black Americans, where we may have some substandards when it comes to educational attainment, and say, well, let's fight supremacy? The Nigerian Black. How he able to come over here and do it? If we talk about that and make
Why can't he do it in
an objective
Nigeria?
and just make an
he can do it in
objective
Nigeria.
observation, brother. Let me finish, and then I'm gonna be real quick. If anyone dare highlight there's a cultural difference between the way the Nigerian approaches education in this country and the way we approach it as Americans in this country, and this is why we're falling behind. But we want to now. So now what we want to do is we want to vilify these people who are just coming over here and trying to take advantage. America has the world's #1 economy. It would be stupid not to come do business in America. It's just like what they say. Why is the bank robber robbing the bank? That's where the money at. So these immigrants are coming here because that's where the money at. The thing that I'm interested in addressing is, why are these immigrants able to come over here and get up over us in our own country? And the bottom line is this, is these people come over here and they operate in ways that are pro-social with one another. When as Black Americans, all too often, we are anti-social with one another. Like Tariq Nasheed running this goddamn grifting con on his own people, and he know what he's doing.
He knows he's
Like a
wrong.
Nigerian scammer.
Hold on. Hey, listen, he knows what he's doing. And the thing is this, Pan-Africanism is at work every day. When I went to Kenya and tried to start my businesses, when I bought my land and all that stuff, those Africans were more than happy to help me. They didn't even charge me. They were just like, bro, I'll stand in line for you. I'll take you where you need to go to file the paperwork. I'll help you find a lawyer, all those things. And that was just on the strength of some people that I met through a friend, and I tried to pay them.
It's Black people that do that in DC.
I didn't say that. I didn't say there weren't. I didn't say there weren't.
You
But
had
the
to go
whole
2,000
point,
miles.
see, what you don't understand about Pan-Africanism is that Pan-Africanism is something that is for people who want to do something with their life. So when you talk about FBA and the people who make up FBA, a lot of them, y'all ain't trying to do nothing. Y'all want money so y'all can go blow it on bullshit.
Goofy ass.
Let me finish. Y'all want money because y'all want to go blow the money on bullshit. Y'all not trying to build nothing. That is why when I used to ask FBA, hey man, look, I'm with you. What we gonna build when we get reparations? Can't nobody tell me how to spend my money. So the Africans who come to America benefit from African American or Black American Pan-Africanism. The Black Americans,
from our labor.
let me finish. And they benefit from our Pan-Africanism. And when we go over to their country, we benefit from their labor. My money in Kenya is in a Kenyan-owned bank. I bought my land from a Kenyan who was selling.
Make sure
land.
you get it.
My businesses are operated by Kenyan people. So I am able to exploit what they have to offer for
Michael
my
Blackson said the government robbed
Listen,
him.
man, I'm not done. I'm able to exploit I'm able to get what I want by exploiting their resources. They are able to get what they want when they come here by exploiting my resources. That is an even exchange. But only a person who's not doing anything feels like they're being taken advantage of because you have no desire to go exploit what they have to offer. That's like somebody saying, well, nobody bought me a Christmas present but your lame ass ain't willing to go downstairs to go look up under the tree and see what they got for you. All you want to do is complain, assuming that nobody got you nothing, but won't do the work it takes to go actually see.
Damn, you
and
you don't let nobody talk at all.
And you ain't getting nobody anything in exchange. But the people who are over there, there's some brothers who just started a bar over there in Sierra Leone. There's a lot of black, some brothers just built a big ass housing complex in Ghana. So everyone who's building and wants to do something is in Africa having no issues getting it done. Everybody who's just trying to eat chicken wings and drink beer and watch basketball every
You sound like a
fucking
white
night
person.
for the rest of their life is
You got
complaining.
you got white person
What are you
stereotype.
working on in the name of FBA?
So that's
What are
we
you
do, we
building?
eat chicken wings.
I'm
Right?
asking you a question. What are you working on in the name of FBA building as a community? Not just you getting a reparations check and going off and spending it on Hennessy. What are you working
That's
on?
what we do. All we
for
do is
us?
drink Hennessy.
That's why I'm giving you an
You sound
example
like a
to
white
tell me.
person, dude.
I'm
You
giving
such
you
a
an
crew, that's
example.
ridiculous.
I'm asking you to correct
That's
me.
some Uncle Ruckus shit.
I'm giving you an
So,
opportunity to
black-
correct me.
Could you
What are
stop
you
talking
building?
for a second?
What are you working on?
But you asked me a question, but you talk.
What
the
are
whole
you
time.
working on?
First of all, almost everybody in my family own businesses. You need to get out of the small little area you in. I'm in DC, and we have a whole bunch of black businesses. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. PG County is one of the wealthiest black
I'm not
counties.
asking about PG County. I'm talking
So
about
what
you.
I'm saying is we already doing it.
specifically.
My family already has
No,
business.
what are you doing specifically?
Didn't I just say we already have business?
No, I'm talking about you. What are you, Daniel Beverly, doing specifically?
I just said it. We have our own business.
So
And
selling,
we all have businesses.
so selling
And I
things
ha-
to
I
black
can- I
people
can- I
is
can
doing
get
something.
everything done. I can get everything done and everybody be black on a job site. A black electrician, the black people doing the sheetrock, black people doing the plumbing, heating, air conditioning. That's my family business.
Yeah, but that's just
So what are
DC,
you
bro.
talking about? Say what?
How does that build the black community? I'm asking.
How
Like,
does jobs and building shit? Oh my God.
No,
You
I'm
sound
ask-
ridiculous.
your
So
PG
black
County
people-
has got black
so
people.
Black people supporting black businesses doesn't build a community.
PG County is all black.
Exactly.
What is that doing for all the FBAs across America?
There are other different parts just like that too. Atlanta's like that.
There's not a lot of places like our area.
It's not a lot of places that have black people, period.
Okay, so
what's your point? We supposed to get it popping in goddamn Wyoming?
So you acknowledge that there's an issue with the numbers, but you're steadily trying to alienate large groups of black people,
We
other
not
black people.
alienate anything, but if you come with that negative bullshit,
What negative bullshit?
That Akata shit.
No, you
if
guys
they honest,
started
they'll
that
tell you-
shit.
If they're honest, they'll tell you their parents told them.
Bruh,
they
there's
was different-
Africans who don't
they
even know
was
what the word
different than
akata
Makata.
mean. That's one place.
I done dated Nigerian chicks.
That's one.
They tell you the truth.
So
When you pillow
Nigeria,
talk- when they pillow
so
talk-
Nigeria represents all of Africa.
Nigeria is a big group that's over here. You just brought them up with that whole when you was bigging them up, you just brought them up.
So
now you want to
So
try to,
Nigeria represents all of Africa.
I didn't say that. That's you putting words in my mouth.
No,
I
you're
just said that-
bringing
I
up
just said it's
something that's from Nigeria.
I said it's a big contingency of them. Yes.
But you was boning the Nigerian chick, so you didn't
So
care
what's
that
your
much
point?
about akata. You didn't care
What's
that
your
much
point?
about the word akata.
What is your point?
My
Then
point is
you
you're
learn. That's how
you're
you learn about
pretending
people.
to be hurt by a word that you don't even know the meaning of.
When you are a teenager, yes, it is. I do know what akata means.
Do you know that
Akata
Nigerians
means-
call each
akata
other?
means you are astray.
Okay. Do you
don't
know
have
that?
you don't have a homeland or culture?
And
That's the
do
type-
you
that's what they
and
think is
do
funny.
you know that akata is used on other Nigerians by Nigerians?
Yes, I do. Just like we used to call each other African booty scratcher.
Okay,
It
so
doesn't make it less offensive.
It's not offensive. You're just pretending to be offended.
So African booty scratcher not offensive then either, right?
Not to me. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm a grown man.
But that doesn't matter. It could be offensive to an African. So why does that? What difference does it make? What difference does it make if it's offensive to you?
Bro, you're a perpetual victim. Shut the hell up.
Who said I was a victim?
You're
I'm
looking
good.
for something to be offended about.
I'm good.
No,
I just
worried about the word
know.
akata. You're
I
not
just
good. You're
know-
insecure.
I just know if you calling me Akadas and all type of
You're
shit, I just
boning.
know what
You're hitting
I know
a
where you
Nigerian.
stand.
You're hitting a Nigerian chick from the back, eating her asshole, and talking about you hurt by
Now
the
you're
word
projecting.
Akata.
You're projecting because
No,
you're ass
you're
eater.
literally.
project your ass
Sometimes
eating on
I
me.
am. Sometimes I am.
I'm not.
But what I'm
Don't-
telling you,
no,
well,
I'm
that's
not.
you. That's
I'm
why
not.
she's not with you no more. But the thing I'm
not.
telling
I'm
you is,
good.
you're doing all that with a Nigerian, but you're acting like you're offended by the word Akata. You're not a man. You're a clown.
Dude, first of all,
I'm a grown man. You
Yo,
don't
can I
have
ask
enough.
something?
You don't have enough bass in your voice.
Go ahead, Hakeem.
Yo, so is Tariq not creating black disunity on an international level?
1,000%.
Absolutely.
Right. Like he's disrupting Pan-African supply chain opportunities. It's like what's going on right now with the Trump administration and everything. We are the biggest consumer market in the world. That Africa could benefit from a collaboration with the African American consumer market, with FBAs and existing African diaspora existing in the United States. I don't see where he advances the positivity that is black on this planet.
When you fight a war, a war is to gain something. Either you gain your freedom, you gain more land, or you protect what you got. Tariq has these idiots fighting wars for nothing.
So somebody's got to be an idiot because they
3 million people. Listen, 3 million.
We don't have a culture. You know,
African Americans have their own culture. Ain't nobody able to take it away from you.
Africans will tell you we don't have a culture.
In what way
and then when
can
we
an
say
African
we're delineate?
So listen, in what way can an African take away an FBA's culture?
They can't. They call in, they say negative shit, they get roasted, and now they're complaining.
Your whole life revolves around a call-in show.
No, you're projecting.
No, I'm not. You sound stupid.
My whole
You're talking
life,
about, bro.
What are you talking about?
What Tariq is doing.
You probably know more about Tariq than me. Y'all be on his nuts.
Let me get these super chats. Rad7, something for the show. I appreciate that, Rad7. Thank you.
Rad7 know about Tariq and donations and all that type of shit.
Rad7, thank you.
You ride by the museum, not me.
Right. Rad7, I'll be over there every day. Rad7, thank you for the $5
holler. You know when it's closed and shuttered?
It's closed all the time. It's closed all the time.
I don't
to
know.
help
I
towards
don't give a shit.
Let me read this. To help towards the goal, Tariq is a fruit. To help towards the goal, Tariq is a fruit. Keep exposing him and bringing truth. Love that you on No Jumper now play Mr. Bojangles. I forgot about that. Mr. Bojangles. Hey, if y'all help me reach my super
something positive for the community.
If you guys help me reach
jumper.
Hey, shut up. If you guys help me reach my super chat goal, I will play Mr. Bojangles. Because that makes my video.
So is Adam a grifter?
Let me get this. Rad7.
Is Adam a grifter?
Rad7. Thank you for the $1.99.
Point this shit out, y'all niggas.
When Tariq asks where you're fan from, ask his real name. 100%. I got you. I'm gonna answer your questions.
You exposed like shit, dude. Ain't nothing you can say. You exposed.
Wait, hold on.
You on No Jumper talking about somebody.
Can you shut up for a minute? I'll answer your question. Let me get through the damn super chats.
Damn.
A Sambo set Fred Hampton up, not a black immigrant. Rad7, thank you for the $1.99. 100%. Black immigrants ain't caused no trouble for black Americans. It was us exposing us. Who set up Fred Hampton? Was that an immigrant? No. Who set up Malcolm X? That was immigrant? No. Come on, bro. It's bull crap. It's Tariq deflecting and trying to throw some. He's doing the 42 fake. Oh,
well,
look at the immigrant.
You're going back 60 years.
Look at the immigrant while I dig in your pocket and steal your damn money.
It wasn't even a whole bunch of Africans over here then.
Listen, yes, it was.
I didn't grow up with a single African until high school.
Alan, I'm about to let you talk right now. Let me say this. Do I think Adam at No Jumper is a grifter? No. Adam employs people. Everything they do on that show, they choose to do that. I've never seen a situation where Adam telling someone, hey, man, go in there and crash out. If anything, Adam, okay, for example, with Almighty Suspect crashed out a bunch of times. Adam suspended our almighty suspect for a month for doing that and told him if he did it again, he's gonna get fired. How
He's gonna
can
show that video.
So how can someone
He's gonna
say
show that video.
So how can someone say that Adam is encouraging almighty suspect to crash out when Adam suspended our almighty suspect for crashing out?
Because all you gotta do is put a room full of gangbangers together and watch them, sit back and enjoy.
Nah, because he's not even a gang member. So you look stupid.
I didn't say he was a gang member.
And when he crashed out, he never.
It's not
my almighty
groups of gangbangers up
You
there?
haven't seen any
It's not
gang
a bunch
members.
of gangbangers up there?
You have not seen any gang-related crash outs where two gangs are fighting each other on No Jumper.
What are you talking about?
Tell me what gangs you saw going at it on.
Brick Baby didn't crash out.
He did? Where? When?
Oh my God, dude!
When he said he gonna put Kill Squad in the street?
You know what the fuck I'm talking about? You just repeated it.
But he said that in a room where there were no rival gang members.
Yes, it was.
Who?
DW Flame was a rival gang member.
DW Flame wasn't
sitting right over there on the sofa,
and they was getting into it.
Yeah.
Oh, No Jumper. They was getting into it. Oh no. They were getting
off camera.
I'm asking you a question.
DW Flames.
I'm asking you a question.
Jacked him up.
Did
he jack him up?
Did DW Flame fight with Brick Baby on No Jumper on camera?
No, I didn't say he fought him. I didn't.
So what happens outside of No Jumper has nothing to do with No Jumper.
He's bringing that shit together, and something gonna happen.
What are you talking about?
So ain't nobody get whipped out front of No Jumper.
These people were getting along and then developed beef after they got on No Jumper.
Protect the white man. I get it.
I don't need to protect the white man. You
Protect the
sound
white
dumb.
man. Go ahead and get your paper, man. You grifted.
Hey, okay. So Alan, I'm gonna ask you a question. So black gangs only started getting into it with each other when No Jumper was created.
You always say shit.
That's absolutely that.
You always say shit when you put something.
That's like saying,
mouth.
hey, that's like saying these cats is only fucking since Brandon showed up, moved into the neighborhood. No, the cat's been fucking before I moved to the neighborhood, and they're gonna continue to fuck once I leave. Go ahead, Alan.
People that do drugs, that don't mean nothing.
Well, one of the things I you know, what people need to understand about Tariq is Tariq Nasheed is actually, you know, not just a grifter, but he's applied pimp principles and is going ahead and made a lot of money for himself and for his multiracial family. And you know, I almost applaud him.
That's also false. His wife is black.
Hey, please don't interrupt this guy.
Excuse me.
She's mixed.
His wife is biracial. But anyway, for his multiracial family, okay. And so basically, he's going ahead and he's readjust. So this is just the latest adjustment that he's made in order to make himself money. He licks his finger, puts his finger in the air, sees which way the wind's going, and he goes that way. That's what he does. That's why he's been around for 30 years.
Like a Nigerian scammer.
One of the things that he's done is lie to people and tell people that that basically black gangs were started off by people from outside the country, lying, saying that the
never said that.
Yes, he
Hey
did.
man, stop doing that.
I heard him say it.
He never said it was found. We know who found the Bloods and Crips.
Stop.
He's lied repeatedly.
He said it's a lot of men.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Alan.
He's lied repeatedly and said that people from Belize were made up the FBA, started the Crips, when everyone knows the Crips were started by Tuka Williams and that guy Raymond Washington. You know, he tells all kinds of lies, and he says whatever he needs to do to make certain people feel good about themselves so they can continue to give to him, and that's what he does. So I don't understand how that last guy could go ahead and defend everything that he does, because it's kind of obvious he's a grifter. He creates films. He asks for money. He pockets a large sum of the money, and then he makes very low budget films that people then consume, and he makes more money off it. It's a good business model. He's actually very good at what he does, and so he just needs to stay the hell away from Pan-Africanism. That last guy literally said that Pan-Africanism was one-sided. You know, the father of Pan-Africanism is Marcus Garvey. He's from Jamaica. You know, so you know, that guy had absolutely no clue what he was talking about, and he was wearing me out. He was exhausting me.
He's still there. I just took him down because he kept interrupting.
Yeah.
Because y'all talking stupid.
No, we're not talking stupid. We're talking about the fact
you said Marcus Garvey. Who
you've been following Tariq for 7 years and you still don't have reparations. You can't even give us an itinerary.
You don't have reparations. What are you talking about?
Can you please tell me what is the next event you guys are holding in an effort to secure reparations? Y'all don't even got a calendar.
It's a lineage. You're FBA by birth. It's just a different name because we didn't like Black American. We said foundational Black American. Why is that such an issue? Why is that such an issue?
It's not a lineage because
I don't give a fuck about
it's not a lineage
and what they call
it's not a
themselves.
lineage because if you have Jamaican,
if we say it's a lineage, it's a lineage.
Listen,
you would tell us what we can call ourselves.
You sound stupid because
you sound ridiculous.
If someone has one Black American parent, if someone has a Jamaican parent, then Tariq will say they are not FBA.
No, he didn't. He said if you have a black,
no, he does. He does, bro.
He said if you have a black parent, if you have one black parent, you are FBA.
This is
no,
what
he one drop rule on that.
He didn't say no one drop.
There have been.
That's the main thing that I have a problem with. Y'all are actually lying.
No, we're not lying.
Y'all saying Tariq said that foreigners started the Bloods and Crips. That's a lie. He never said that.
No, he said that.
Bro, he'll always ask where someone's mom and their dad is from.
It's a lot of Bloods and Crips that are from other countries
Tariq
now.
Literally told me I am not FBA. He literally told me that. I don't have any Caribbean family members or Jamaican family members. What the problem is, you're following someone who's constantly.
I'm not following shit because he's not a leader.
You're following someone
who's not a leader. I just disagree with you.
You've fallen into a cult that where the membership of the cult has been defined by somebody who continues to change the rules. So when we say what we say, that can be true. And when you say what you say, that can also be true because Tariq says different shit at different times.
So what's our membership? What are our dues? What are our membership fees? This group, this cult that I'm in.
At this point, $2 million for the Hidden Hustle Museum.
I didn't give shit to it.
That don't mean nothing. Everybody in the group don't pay dues.
So I'm not complaining. If you didn't give nothing to it, then
somebody paid it for you. Somebody paid it for you.
Why do you care?
Let me tell you something.
I don't care about shit I didn't contribute
to. If this FBA shit didn't take off, if Tariq wouldn't have got that $2 million, man, FBA would have been a distant memory. He would have moved to the next con.
It had nothing to do with
the only reason
y'all focus on Tariq.
The only reason your cult is still intact is because Tariq profits from it.
It's not a cult.
Yo, Daniel.
I don't know who we profiting off of.
I'm married.
Somebody Daniel. Yo, not to gang up or anything, but like if you Google Hidden History Museum and you go to images, the first thing that pops up is the lie that people were sold, and then you'll see the reality.
Yeah.
Y'all are so focused on that building. I don't get it. I don't know what y'all thought you could get in LA for $2 million.
Because he tricked people, bro. He tricked people that like genuinely want to see change in our community.
Did you donate?
That's no.
Okay. So
but
I donated
but other people did. Other people did that believed in him, and he's a damn fraud.
I donated those people. I donated. Listen. I donated $2 to the Hidden History Museum because someone like you was saying, if you didn't donate, don't worry about it. So I donated $2, and that gives me the.
And you got plenty. Well, you got $2 worth of value.
I donate to the X school.
No. And here's the thing too. The X school for boys, of course. Listen. Here's the thing. Tariq bought that building for $600,000. So when you ignorant bumpkin try to tell us,
you tell me you ain't pocket watching.
When you try to tell me what can you get in LA for $2 million, you could have got a whole lot more than what Tariq bought. The building was only $600,000, and he financed it.
I don't know how he did that because I know for a fact what the real estate in LA is.
Bro, I've already literally looked all
but I know
this
you
up.
know everything about Tariq.
Can I tell you
Can I tell you a secret?
Can I tell you a secret? Something that you don't know?
What Tariq swear for bed?
I'm the one who found the building that Tariq bought. Because I went to
I
the
don't doubt
building.
it.
Because I went to the building by mistake and was like, maybe this is it. And then it turns out that wasn't it. And 2 months later, Tariq bought that building. I believe that me accidentally going to that building on live gave
That's why he took you to court.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
you
gave
gotta-
Tariq the
dude.
idea to buy that building.
I think you a fan. You really the fan. You a disgruntled fan.
Hey,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
give a fuck about Tariq like you do.
We're gonna
You
do
going
final,
out there researching the
Yeah.
building and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna do final thoughts. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute to give your last opinion. Go ahead, starting now.
My whole issue is just mind your business. I don't call into Jamaican shows asking about what's going on. And y'all got some of the deadliest cities in the world. Why would you care about?
Why are you saying y'all? I'm Black American, dummy.
I'm talking about. You the only dumbass.
You telling me you just said that you
I'm talking to the Caribbeans and stuff. But you see, like you got to jump in front and defend them all the time.
Up here it would be falling under FBA. So who you talking to?
That's all the audience you have. Don't you?
Well, technically, I wouldn't fall under FBA.
Oh, you no good tether. Get out of here, Alan.
So anyway, my point is, the foreigners that come in, I don't have a problem with immigrants, any of that. But be respectful. Don't come in.
Respect your bitch
Don't come in chiming in on issues that's none of your business. You got
they just as racist as everybody else.
You got 1,000 tribes. Worry about that shit. Get that.
We got 1,000 tribes.
Get that shit. Well, get
Bloods,
that shit
Crips,
together.
GDs, BDs,
And I'm not calling
sports.
And I'm not calling it your job with Adam 22. Worried about y'all gang shit y'all got.
You should call in.
I don't want to call in. I let y'all do y'all gang banging for the white man, so he can make all that money and kick your ass and kick you in the ass. You see how many people that got kicked off of there? You better punch somebody or something. I saw you on there ducking the fade.
Okay.
So you better punch somebody or you ain't gonna be on there long.
Clearly, I must be different from everybody else, huh?
Yeah, you are different. You was ducking the fade.
Okay.
You're not gonna be on there long unless you got to act up, dude. You got to put on that minstrel show.
I'm ducking the fade. That's why
that minstrel show, and you'll get more airtime. Okay.
I don't do minstrel shows.
All right. Well, you ain't gonna be on there long because that's a Jew exploiting black
Adam
people.
is not Jewish. You're dumb.
Shit. Him and black Jews.
He's French. He's not a Jew. I've asked him.
And he into some freaky shit too. You better watch out on there too.
Hey,
you talking about Tariq.
Hey, bro.
You talking about Tariq.
I got to meet Brandy Kelly. She's fine as hell.
Okay.
I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
I get to walk in the room. I get to walk in and see naked women every day.
And dudes.
No, there don't be no dudes in there naked. There don't be no dudes in there naked though.
Okay, he gonna be checking you out. But anyway, my whole thing is don't call in worrying about reparations. You not in it anyway. If you're a foreigner, so why do you care?
If you guys stop attacking them, they'll stop calling in.
Hey, what? That sounds stupid. How do you call in and get attacked? Just
no,
don't
you guys are attacking. Man, all right. Hey, all right, thank you. That's been 1:19 seconds. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. I don't understand how someone throws shots at a group of people. Then when the group of people call in to defend themselves, you say, why are you in my business? Tariq literally is baiting them. And this idiot knows that, but he's going to try to pretend. You said we brought AIDS into America. You saying we're committing all the crimes and black Americans are getting blamed for it. You're saying we're dusty. You're saying we're this, we're that. We calling to defend ourselves. Why are you calling in worried about reparations? These people don't give a damn about reparations. They know you ain't getting it.
He was basically on some like, I don't ask questions. I just stay ignorant.
That dude is dumb.
Well, not just that. The bottom line is that patient zero for HIV was a white Canadian man. And that's actually proven in a fact. So again, just something else that Tariq was pulling out of his behind to blame on, people who are not FBA. That's just part of the game he's decided to play. Now he's trying to pivot back to the Pan-African side because he sees potential there for something that's profitable and that could be his next move. I don't understand how anybody can buy into that. I've been watching the guy for a long time. And ever since his days before he had the podcast, before Tariq Nasheed show, back when he was on MTV doing guest stuff, back when he was on O Drama doing stuff on BET. I've watched him for a long time, and there are several iterations of Tariq Nasheed, from pimp to Pan-Africanist to anti to xenophobic person, all the way back to FBA now seems to be the next, Pan-African seems to be the next move. Please don't buy into this, guys. Please, it's not good stuff. It's constant blaming of other people for things and making up fake history and fake, of not only of FBAs, but fake history of other people as well. And if you keep doing that, you end up sounding like the guy Daniel there, repeating and regurgitating talking points that don't make sense. His talking points are so bad that when he gets in debates with other people, like racists or somebody, when he volunteers to debate them, he ends up making a fool of himself there too. So if you don't believe that Tariq Nasheed is a fool, then you might be a fool yourself.
Hey, yeah, and these people don't realize, like, when I ask you, what are you guys, the whole purpose of FBA was to get reparations. The fact that you guys have no operating procedure, no, mission statement, nothing. Like, you're just waiting. They're just sitting there waiting for Tariq to throw some meat to them, like, yeah, let's go do this. And okay, let's go do it. Like, you just look stupid. And so what Tariq did was he fed them the xenophobia and the hate, and that's used to keep them occupied until he figures out how he's going to exploit them again for money in the name of reparations. That's all that's about. The xenophobic hate shit is just filler. Well, if I don't give them nothing, because they're like a hungry mob. So if you don't have like meat for them, you could throw them like, potatoes, and they could just munch on that. And that's what the xenophobic shit is. It's the potatoes that they could munch on until you could find some meat to throw them. But,
right. He wants people he wants us to believe that the system hasn't let up an inch on us since the beginning of this experiment. You see what I'm saying? Like, he keeps up, he's a peripheral blocker. He tries to keep FBA from seeing the horizon. And what happens is when you start to actually mingle with the African diaspora, that's especially in America, your horizons broaden a lot.
Right.
And you start to actually change your mindset, and you start to actually take things into your own hands. That's what starts to happen. And that's what he's trying to keep from happening, so we can keep fueling the bullshit that's getting the donations at the top NGO level and all that shit.
He tries to make you hate America, but he has to keep you loving America just enough to believe that America is going to give you reparations. See? Hate America, but I need to make you hate Africa more so you won't leave America and try to run to Africa. It's really masterful the way he pulled this shit off.
White supremacy, but then also Africans bad.
Right. I hate white supremacy, but I hate Africa more. No, the white man beat the dog shit out of you and enslaved you, but the African sold you. So hate him more because he knows if FBA truly ever was told to hate white supremacy, they would just say, okay, let's just go to Africa where there's no white supremacy. So he's playing this. He's like a fucking maestro at a fucking playing a symphony right now. The way he got these niggas hamstrung. You got to be real low.
In purgatory.
And it has to come. It only comes from a hate of your own kind.
Listen,
he hates being African American.
There's two things that are true. Expectation is the root of all suffering, and comparison is the thief of joy. This man has you expecting reparations, and you're never going to get it. So you're suffering.
And he's
And
doing
he
it
has
because he
you,
expects nothing from us. He expects no kind of progress from us, so he's getting what he can.
and he gets you to put the microscope on Black immigrants who per capita are more successful than Black Americans. So he knows that when he does that, you will make a comparison because that's our nature. We love keeping up with the Joneses and one-upping each other. So he makes you put a microscope on a group that you can't outperform economically or educationally at this point, per capita. So he knows that will steal your joy. So
Exactly.
you're a
It's just like
miserable,
Instagram.
exactly. You're suffering and you have no joy because all you're doing is expecting something that's never coming and comparing yourself to a group that is so small, they easily can beat you out per capita because it's not that many of them. It's a false comparison because it's a false equivalency because 3,000 people, what 3,000 people or 3 million people doing can never accurately be measured against what 44 million people are doing.
It's the same as comparing Europeans to Jews to create that kind of hatred.
Right. It's so few of them, they'll never be able to have a major impact on what's going on. But if we can get you to only focus on them, we can make you hate them and we could steal your joy. So it's crazy. And it's weird I'm using the same line that Tim Walz was using. But isn't it funny how Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota and a racist white lady who said the N-word is also in Minnesota? I think it's something in the water down in Minnesota. We were ready to make a Minnesotan vice president who probably says the N-word when he's mad because he seems like the type.
Hey, I'm from Minnesota, and I can tell you that they're very prejudiced.
Of course,
It's a different brand. They'll actually they'll act like everything. It's weird. It's basically weird. Down south, at least you know what you're getting into. You know what I mean? It's clear.
Minnesota's
it's different.
Minnesota's like California, where the liberals pretend like they like you, but if you walk through their neighborhood at night, they'll be the first people to call the cops on you.
Exactly.
When they're in the racial equality mode, they love you. But when it comes to you entering into their personal space, there's racists that can get viciously racist. And will act like their racism is permissible because they pretend to be not racist in other settings.
And when you go into their suburbs and stuff, or whenever they make sure with the police, they make sure you understand that you are being watched at all times.
Right. Oh, of course. I already know that shit. But okay, guys, I think hey, you guys are not going to help me reach my freaking super chat goal. You guys are jerks. Hey, shout out to Hakeem. Thank you, my brother, for the $10 holler in the Cash App. I appreciate that. And then there is also something I must do. I have a brother who's been sending me PayPal, and I hadn't been checking it. So I told the brother, please watch the next show because I'm going to shout the bro out because he's been hooking me up. He's really been hooking me up with the super chats. But the problem is here that I need to log out. I'm logging to my PayPal right now, guys. So if you want, bear with me. But yeah, I got to shout this brother out because he's been kicking down bread for weeks. And I just hadn't been checking it because I don't get contributions like that. So, but you guys can feel free to contribute. And hey, if this is your first time watching, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. You guys hit the like button, I do more of the videos that you like. You don't hit the like button, I search for topics that people who will hit the like button want to hear. So basically, you get more of what you want. I feel like I have a very unique ability to predict and break down exactly what Tariq Nasheed is doing. A lot of people don't have that ability. A lot of very smart people don't really understand the situation enough to understand it, right? To understand what this guy's doing. So I just, every now and then, when I see something is, it doesn't look right, I'll speak on you know, what I think Tariq is doing. Okay, let me see, guys. I'm trying to freaking shout out to my boy JC. My brother is he contributed to the stream several times. Thank you so much, bro. Shout out to my boy Ivan. I appreciate you, my brother. He's hitting the PayPal regularly. Thank you. And do I got everybody? This stuff is loading slow as hell. Let me see. And then my other brother, oh, shout out to my brother Ade. I'll just say Ade. I don't want to dox you, bro. But shout out to my bro Ade. Bro be hooking a brother up with the contributions on PayPal. Thank you. And shout out to my boy Ferdinand. Thank you, Ferdinand, for the contributions on PayPal. They mean a lot to me. I appreciate y'all. Everything y'all bless me with, I greatly appreciate it. Why are they showing me stuff from July of 2024? That's crazy, man. Okay. Shout out to my boy Osini. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for blessing the channel again. These dates are jacked up. I don't know why it's showing up with the wrong date. But thank you so much for blessing the channel again. I appreciate that. And I hope I got everybody. Shout out to my boy Michael. I appreciate you, bro. I got stuff from Jesus. But guys, I'm going to be checking this every day just to make sure I'm not missing anybody who's blessing the channel. Shout out to my boy Johan, or is it Johan? Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good. We're gravy on this one. Yeah. All right, I got everybody. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Somebody said, Daniel Beverly, you a welfare. Hey, Eagle Eyes, thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. Guys, I didn't even check the Cash App. Damn. I'm out here slipping. Guys, I don't really do this for money, but it does help. You know, it helps make sense. You know, it helps me kind of justify spending an hour or 2 hours up here. Because if you guys didn't know, time is money, guys. And I live in California. California's expensive. So you will look crazy wasting 2 hours where you could be getting money just sitting in front of a computer for nothing. Thank you so much, Mary. I don't see it on Cash App yet, but that could be because I'm on my other phone and it'd be weird. But thank you, my sister. I appreciate that. And then obviously I got to have my boy Hakeem for blessing me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Eagle Eyes Prepping. I appreciate everything y'all do. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this show. It was a good one. And then you guys know me, like, I don't really do it for the views. Because if I wanted just views, I would talk about Tariq every day. I would create the Moore's World TV channel. That's not what it's about. It's about us coming together to discuss topics that are important to our community. That's the goal of this channel. Hell, I could be talking about no jumper drama right now and have 500 people in here, but I don't do that because I created this space for you guys to be able to learn and discuss things that are important to all of us. This ain't a clickbait channel. This is a real, what I like to feel like a community. And guys, there is an opportunity to become a member here. I've opened up the membership after so many years. I finally opened up the membership, and the people who are members, do not be discouraged. I am about to start hitting you guys with some great membership content that will be for members only. And so if you want to be, if you want to have access to that, then what I would suggest is becoming a member. If you want to have access to that, become a member. And when you become a member, obviously I got some cool badges. They're freaking awesome. And you will not regret it. You're gonna be like, this is cool. I'm thinking about putting some motivational stuff in there, giving you guys a little bit more access to my life, like what goes on with me on a daily basis, you know. And I think it'll be exciting because I feel like things happen to me that don't happen to anybody else. It's crazy, but it's true. I just be having experiences that I'd be like, you know what? If I told somebody that happened, they probably wouldn't even believe me. And so I don't tell anyone. But I'm going to start telling my members, though, because you guys deserve to know. So what I'm going to do, if you want to join and become a member, the link to the membership is now in the comments. Boom. You can become a member there. Also, oh, thank you, Mary Ellis. I appreciate that. And also, guys, we can have the Discord, Bucci's Boom Boom Room. If you want to join Bucci's Boom Boom Room, you're welcome to do that too. I'm going to put the link to that in there. And let me see. Can I? Okay, share, invite. Okay, I'm going to put that in the comments right now. If you want to join the Discord, guys, you guys have been with me for a long time, and I've been very busy. I've been doing a lot. I got a lot going on in my life, but now, I'm just like a little bit older, and I'm just like, you know what? You need to start putting the work and the effort into this channel to show appreciation for the people who've been rocking with you for so long. Like today, you guys got like 4 videos today. I've never posted 4 videos in a day, but you guys got 4 videos today, and God willing, I'm gonna give you 4 videos tomorrow. But it might not be 4, but it will be at least 3. But I'm gonna work to give you as many videos as possible. As many videos as possible to add value to this experience. So Med J is saying, so you're a YouTuber now, right? I've been a YouTuber, I guess, but now I'm putting a little bit more effort into it. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I have a job. I'm at work right now, technically. But no, I still have a job. I'm not YouTubing full-time. No. But let's see if we can get it there. But you guys know I was demonetized for a long time. Like a year and 3 months, I was demonetized. So that kind of killed a little bit of my motivation. So I wasn't going live and stuff as much as I should have been. Today's lesson was free Bucci. Hey, facts. Hey, do me a favor, my people. Go watch the other videos that I posted today. There's actually another video about Tariq. Go watch that. Go watch that video about the teenage girl who viciously beat her elderly grandmother. There's something going on with our children. And, a lot of people will tell you Black people are animals. They don't raise their kids right. But I don't buy that. I don't accept that. Because what I know is what you know. They strip Black people of our ability to discipline our children the way we see fit. And then they tried to blame, and now they're trying to blame us for the results of that. And I'm not laying down for that. I do criticize Black people, and I hold Black people accountable. But there's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit here and accept this idea that Black people just don't raise their kids right. No, we're going to call it what it is. Nah, y'all robbed us of the ability to raise our children the way we see fit. And now they out here acting a fool, and y'all trying to act like y'all don't know why, but we do know why. So I just put the link to that, Sharkeisha. attacks her elderly grandmother. And then there's another situation where a fine dining restaurant in Oakland was robbed. I mean, there was a shootout in a fine dining restaurant in Oakland, California. The only fine dining restaurant in Oakland, California, as a matter of fact, and is Black owned, and two idiots got into a shootout in there and ended up shooting two people. And the owner is so, devastated. He's so frustrated because he's like, I'm trying to do this for us Black people and y'all messing it up. And then I'm going to put the link to this one as well. Stephen A. Smith, he gets praised by Donald Trump and then just goes on the Cuomo show and eviscerates Democrats. And Stephen A., I think he's one of those guys who just tries to play both sides, but he has basically given a master class on playing the middle and not being sucked into the vortex of far left or far right politics. And I think we all can learn a thing or two from Stephen A. Then, I saw that link's in the comments right now. Then we got the video of the 27-year-old man. Y'all Tariq fans gonna love this. The video of the 27-year-old man who got his cheeks busted by Muhammad Azim, a overweight Middle Eastern guy, in broad daylight on the New York subway. And Muhammad Azim is so nasty, he made the dude commit lewd acts on him at knife point in broad daylight. And when the dude was done, the dude, Muhammad, so nasty, he was walking around the subway car sniffing his damn fingers. This boy was sniffing his fingers. And when the newscaster said, Muhammad, why was you sniffing your fingers? He said, yo, they got me, G. I don't want to laugh, but that shit was so funny. Bro was sniffing his fingers, bro. Just a nasty motherfucker. Woo. You nasty twin, I don't care. No, they said you nasty pun. And then we got the video. Gilly the kid melts down, crashes out after a bank refuses to cash his check. And he does his business at PNC Bank. Chase Bank is one of the PNC Bank's biggest investors, and Chase Bank and PNC descend from banks that operate in the slave trade and own slaves and use slaves as collateral. Do your history, you little goofy. And then he says, oh, they think I'm a young nigga. No, nobody thinks your ugly, short ass is young. You might be little, nigga, but you don't look young at all. And then, so that's basically it. Oh, no, one more. California politicians block a bill that would have made it a felony to buy underage girls for, relations. California blocked a law. I'm going to say that again. California blocked a bill that would have made it a felony to buy underage girls for illicit purposes. They blocked that bill. So it is not a felony in California to buy underage girls. Let that sink in. They blocked a bill. They are demons. That's why you need to watch this channel, because when California tries some shit, it's funny how all the other states try to follow suit. So, go check out those videos. Most importantly, get the likes up on those videos so those videos can be disseminated. So YouTube algorithm, this is how it works. If you like the video, YouTube spreads the video further. They say this is a good video. People like it. Let's push it more, push it out more. And I believe that these things I'm talking about are very important to our community. So whether you like me or not, or whether you like my delivery or not, this information needs to be shared far and wide. So share it, like it, all that stuff. That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it, bruv. I appreciate all y'all. If I missed your contribution, I'll shout you out on the next show. Beyond that, hey, Medjay, where are you at, bro? You in Somalia or you in the UK? But yeah. Oh, also subscribe to the channel. Let's get the subscribers up. Hey, the one thing that is really going up on this channel are subscribers. I ain't gonna lie. The subscribers are definitely tapping in. So let's just be one big hate-filled family and show up every day. So I'm gonna see y'all in the morning. I'll be dropping content for y'all. And oh, you in Switzerland, the Swiss Alps. Yodelay, 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 yodelay. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, and tell me what you guys think about the new setup. Do you guys like this? I mean, you guys can't see it in all its exuberance because StreamYard only streams at 1080p. So they're giving you a little detail, but not all the detail. But if you had like 4K, like I might need to switch to a Mac so I can use Ecamm Live and stream in 4K like Anton Daniels. But until I decide to stop being cheap and do that, look at that. Got the middle finger on the Thanos glove. You guys are going to be watching shit in 1080p. That's just the way it is. But the pre-record videos are shot in 4K, especially that one that I made today outside. Man, it's been a long time coming. Trust and believe it's been a long time coming. It took some time to get here. But shit, we up in this joint. I got my Stan Lee. I bought this cup. I'm going to tell y'all the truth, full transparency. I bought this Stanley Cup at a volleyball tournament with a bunch of white folks. It was called Red Rock. And I paid $30 for this Stanley Cup. And I was like, wow, $30 for a real Stanley Cup. That's a deal. Someone told me not to buy this cup, but I bought it anyway, right? And the lady assured me that it was real. Oh, it's real. It's real, white lady. See? The white man. So I bought it. I get home and somebody tells me, well, if you want to know if your Stanley Cup is real, there's a barcode on the bottom. Go to the website, punch in the barcode, the number, and it'll tell you it's real. I punched in the number, and this is a fake counterfeit Stanley Cup. So I no longer call it a Stanley Cup. I call it a Stan Lee Cup. This is a Stan Lee. I'd have to tell you guys that. But I love transparency. So when you see me drinking out this Stan Lee, understand that it's not the real deal. See, these are items that you can purchase from African countries instead of making your oppressors rich. 100%. But I actually have 2 hydro flasks that are from Africa. My daughter uses one, and the other one is just sitting under my sink. Hey, it works. It keeps this ice frozen. So to me, it probably came from the same Chinese factory that's making the Stanley Cups. It does do the job because it kept that damn ice from when I was driving from Vegas to Long Beach. It kept that ice cold damn near from the night before because I put the ice in the night before, and it stayed frozen from the night before all the way for the 4-hour drive from Vegas to Long Beach. But it is what it is. And also, since it's fake, like, if I lose it, I won't be too devastated. That'll just give me an excuse to go buy a real Stanley Cup, which I don't know. It's just the way we are. You guys see how Americans think? That's why we're the #1 consumers on the planet. Because we just buy shit. Buying things, it's retail therapy. It makes us feel better. I don't want cups I got to compete for at 6 a.m. What do you mean? What does that mean? You got to compete for at 6 a.m. What does that mean, Hakeem? Let me know. But yeah, it was good to have you guys here. I hope you stay. I hope you keep watching. I think this 6 o'clock time is going to be the best time slot for me, because that's when I can kind of get my day done and sit down and relax. I was pushing to be in the morning, but I feel like when I look at the other channels that my audience watch, everybody's going in the morning. So let's just go at night. Fuck it. Why not? Oh, they were crazy years ago. Yeah, facts. Med J, I'm waiting. What's up? Good night, Tethers and Coons. May you hit, keep you warm, and bushmeat. May your must stay. It's actually called Musk with a K, you idiot. But that was funny. Daniel Beverly, that's the funniest thing you said all night. Good night, Tethers and Coons. May you keep you warm. And bushmeat. The bushmeat fill your bellies was funny. That was classic. In your musk. PG County looks like a war zone. And he's the main niggas always bragging about black excellence. Come on, man. PG County looks fucked up. Did you know that African Americans are buying for 50 million Chinese toilet seats a year? 50 million. No, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, of course. The new Pope is Haitian? Don't tell me they made a black. Oh, they didn't get niggas the Pope, the papacy. That's cool, I guess. If you're into that. Tariq about to be mad about that. PG County looks like the remnants of the War of 1812. Of course it does. Give me 4-piece wings with mambo sauce, nigga. They think mambo sauce. Mambo sauce, some shit an Asian created, as they claim to fame. Lord Jesus. But that's it, guys. I'm about to shut it down. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, take care of each other. Peace. Medja, I was waiting for you. Are we done? What do you want me to wait for? You send me $50 to buy a toilet seat or what? Night. You about to go night, nigga. New Pope ain't no damn Haitian. Peace.